Anthony on Air podcast back for another episode. Of course, we're talking about Ghislaine Maxwell and her bizarre bathroom run-in. Randy Quaid is going to run for governor of California. The New York Post had a huge, huge mistake.
It's ridiculous.
Rudy Giuliani and Hunter Biden, Tony Soprano and LeBron James, Adam Sandler and Ihop, and Frank's a serial killer are our topics.
Don't take that literally.
Well,
but it's. I don't know if I'm a fan of that one.
I will say, as we get here towards the end of April, we had our best month selling podcast merch. I want to thank everybody for that. There's an Anthony on Air mug right there. You can grab podcast merch right now at the Anthony on Air store, shopanthonyonair.com, or grab the link at anthonyonair.com. We've got mugs, we've got shirts, hats, bags.
We have masks.
We've got masks. We've got our show logo. We've got That's What She Said. We've got glasses of wine. We've got coffee. We've got beer merch. Stuff for everybody in the family. So grab some merch right now, anthonyonair.com.
Get your Mother's Day shopping done early.
There you go. That's why he gets paid the big bucks. Makes more than me on the show, actually. Get your Mother's Day. There's still time to shop for Mother's Day. In fact, I would suggest the very popular with the ladies, the Not Now tank top. Not Now, very popular amongst parents and moms especially. So we got shirts and sweatshirts and tank tops in that. So go check that out at the store right now. All right, Frankie, let's talk about Ghislaine and her bizarre bathroom run-in. By the way,
do we have to?
She got denied bail. I don't even know what we're up to now. 3 or 4 denials on the bail front.
I guess, she has every right to keep trying, but
I think
I don't know how the outcome's going to change every time.
I think she's going to keep going too. But on Monday night, her lawyer claimed in court papers filed, they keep trying to slam this narrative of she's being mistreated while in the detention center in Brooklyn. And they're continuing it with this story that a jail guard stood knee to knee with Ghislaine while she was using the bathroom.
Yikes.
Which is kind of strange because I feel like in those bathrooms are pretty much wide open in prison anyway. Like even if it's in your cell or whatever, you can't really duck behind them or hide too much.
What? Why would the guy be in the cell with her at that point? And why would he want to be anywhere near that going on? Do you have to? Do they have to be?
Here's why.
Okay.
And again, remember, let's all keep in mind, this is coming from her lawyers. So take this for what it is. But the guard, a quote-unquote team leader at the Metropolitan Detention Center, suspected Maxwell of improperly taking legal papers from her attorney, Bobby Sternheim, after the pair met to discuss her case on Saturday. A group of guards confiscated Maxwell's legal documents and threatened her with punishment for allegedly taking non-approved papers from her attorneys into her cell. The guards told Maxwell, and I'm quoting here, according to Maxwell's lawyers, "We want you to know that what you did was a very serious infraction. It was so serious that it is worthy of an incident report and a disciplinary report. It has been decided this time that you will receive a caution." So that's what they told her, according to her lawyers.
That's like a yellow card in soccer. It's like, all right, thanks.
Maxwell was given permission to use the bathroom where a guard allegedly decided to intimidate her further. The guard team leader stood knee to knee with Miss Maxwell while Miss Maxwell sat on the commode in a small area containing one toilet and a sink, unlike any other occasion, Sternheim wrote in a letter to Judge Allison Nathan. Having a guard standing over her while she used the commode caused Miss Maxwell to feel intimidated and humiliated. The letter was filed the same day Maxwell attorney David Marcus pleaded with federal appeals court to release her on bail pending her trial in the Southern District of New York, and that, of course, was denied.
There you go. Well, I don't know what the protocol is. I'm sure she's got to have eyes on her the whole time. I thought there was a toilet in the cell, like in any other cell.
That's what I thought too. We don't really know. That's the weird thing. We've been guessing about this prison situation the entire time. We don't know what it looks like, what the protocols or procedures are. All we know is she keeps complaining, her lawyers keep complaining, and it never really ever amounts to anything, because who knows if any of it's all true at all. They're making it up.
That's the thing. I mean, I thought there had to be like a Bureau of Prisons or something that went around and make sure everything's on the up and up and all that. Like a hospital would have, people checking on it and regulations and things, right? I mean,
who knows? Who knows if what really happened was the guard stood 4 feet away from her, turned around and said, "Go ahead, use the bathroom. Hurry up."
Right. Yeah. It's coming. You got to consider the source here.
Exactly.
So we don't know if all this is true and how exaggerated it is and how bad it really is. If she's being watched on camera, right? Isn't she on camera all the time too?
That's what they say. She's on camera and she's being checked in on every 15 minutes.
So you think they'd be able to solve this thing in 2 minutes? Like, all right, give me the camera footage. Like the lawyers should be like, give me the camera footage. And I'll show it to a judge.
Yeah, you would think so. I feel like this is all we're going to find out a lot more about this behavioral time period when the actual trial begins. Because I'm sure as they're getting into jury selection and all this stuff, that they're going to be talking about this. They're going to be
I'm sure they'll bring it up.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know what effect it'll have on the actual case, but
we'll see.
We will see.
We'll have to see. Last couple of episodes, lots of juicy Ghislaine and Epstein stuff. We'll put it in the YouTube cards for those of you guys that are watching. It'll be up there somewhere. Her first court appearance, which is a big deal. First time Ghislaine Maxwell was actually physically in court.
Allegedly.
And her those newly unearthed photos of her and Epstein in the White House with Bill Clinton back in 1993, which again, the significance of that is expanding the timeline of the amount of time that those three parties knew each other.
Right.
So
not a good look for the Clintons.
We talked about this on that episode where we only got her first court appearance and we only got the drawing, and we were saying how people are still going to be not convinced, and people are still not convinced.
Oh no, it's a drawing. It's not a photo. Which, yeah, okay, but
it's not ideal. We get it, but we have to take the word of the 12 people in there that saw her and 3 people that drew her and one of the victims that showed up and was like, yeah, there she was.
Yeah, but you see, Anthony, we're sheep, and we just believe what we're told, and and the wool is being pulled over our eyes, and I'm gonna mix a bunch of metaphors.
Yeah,
but
let's talk about celebrities running for political office. Frank's by far favorite topic ever.
Stop it! Especially, Randy Quaid now, cousin
Eddie.
Eddie,
cousin Eddie. Randy
His
Quaid
slogan better be the shitter was full.
Randy Quaid tweeted, "I'm seriously considering running for governor. The prosecutorial corruption in California, especially Santa Barbara, and the Bell scandal is rampant. And I promise that if elected, I will clean up the district attorney offices throughout the state."
The slogans write themselves. The shitter was full. I'm cleaning up because the shitter was full.
Yeah. Not drain the swamp. He's draining the shitter.
He's draining the shitter.
Yeah, there you go.
I can't. I just can't. He's Randy Quaid. No. Stop it.
I feel like we've lost California completely. I don't know what's happening over there. It's just.
How do you mean?
It's just a madhouse. Who's the? I always confuse Florida and California governor. Is Newsom the guy over there?
I'm not sure of his name.
Newsom's California, I think. They're recalling him, which is a whole to-do. This is why they're going to have this election. Yeah, Gavin Newsom. Why they're going to have this whole election. That state hasn't opened up at all, which is really strange when you think about warm weather states have been a lot easier to handle. Up here in the Northeast where we are, it was cold for a few months. Everybody was inside. It was rough.
Once their governor has a sex scandal or some kind of inappropriate scandal, then they'll start opening up.
I know, You know how I know Newsom knows how to keep it in his pants? That state's still closed.
State is closed. Everybody still likes me.
It's crazy, though. Like, you have Disney and Universal Studios. Both of those entities were able to open in Florida, and neither one was able to open in California.
It's different. Every state has a different way of doing it, I guess. It should be,
I know, but it's crazy.
They got to go by the numbers.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, though.
Maybe their numbers aren't so good.
I don't know if it has anything to do with their numbers. I think they're just like psychotic.
They're playing it extra cautious. I don't know.
Way too cautious. Way too cautious. You got the homeless problem. Joe Rogan picked up and left, and then every other comic seemed to follow suit. Although I think that's calming down now a little bit. The amount of comedians leaving California.
I feel like that was a 1 month kind of a flavor of the month kind of a deal.
I know, but a lot of them left though. Tom Segura's leaving. Tim Dillon left.
Not Tim Dillon.
There was a lot of.
What will California do without Tim Dillon?
I'm going to tell Tim Dillon you said that. He's not going to appreciate it at all.
God.
Tim's a Long Island guy too. Really not funny guy. If you haven't seen Tim Dillon. But yeah, so that whole thing. Then you got Caitlyn Jenner throwing her hat in the ring as a Republican, no less.
Right.
Running
I can't.
For the party that has basically been spent like a whole 2-3 years passing anti-transgender laws wherever they
doesn't make any sense.
Military and everywhere. Sense. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And now Randy Quaid is like, it's just nutty. I'll just try it.
Yeah, I mean, Randy Quaid is the last person that should be running anything. The guy is off his rocker. Last I heard,
Randy Quaid can't even run Randy Quaid, which is the thing with this.
It's not good. It's not a good situation with the Quaids. Well, at least that half of the Quaids. The other Quaids, Dennis Quaid's doing just fine.
Oh yeah, Dennis Quaid's doing all right.
But
yeah, Dennis Quaid seems very normal compared to Randy Quaid. How did those two come out of the same gene pool?
That's someone put too much chlorine in.
Are they brothers, full brothers, or like cousins or something? Are they full brothers?
I think they're brothers. Yeah.
Same mom and dad, everything.
I mean, I'm not as close to them as I used to be, but okay. I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's because you never call anybody anymore,
Listen, they can call me. Pick up the phone if you want to call me. Talk to me. Randy Quaid.
But so don't you think I can't get past the theme park thing. How theme parks are able to open everywhere except for California.
Well, get past it. That's what it is.
It doesn't make any sense, though. Like, this guy is, and then all the homelessness and everything else going on around there. I mean, it's literally to the point where Randy Quaid is running for governor, and nobody was surprised. Nobody was
Wasn't he like exiled to Canada or something? And Randy Quaid, wasn't he like living in Canada because he was like off the reservation? He was just out of his mind and
something
had to leave, right?
I vaguely remember. Do you remember? Like, didn't he like put a mask on his wife? And he nailed his wife like on camera, like trying to like
something like that.
Wasn't there something like that?
I mean, doesn't matter anymore today. Something like that will just boost your ratings. You'll add 10 points to whatever poll you're involved in.
I just remember watching it, going, "This is really uncomfortable. Like this isn't funny or anything."
So after
it's like,
you turned it off after what, 20 minutes?
At least 25.
All right. A few more minutes of this, and I'm going to start to get annoyed here. I'm going to be grossed out after a half hour.
I just remember it being very bizarre and like
I didn't watch any of it, but I heard about it, and I don't know how a person like. I mean, you have every right to, but
that's the one thing about me.
1% of the vote.
I'll go in and watch a lot of things that I will regret, and that I'll know I'm going to regret. And I was like, I have to see this. It's part of the gig. Got to watch it. I got to be able to, talk on it.
No, you don't have to. No.
Rupert Murdoch. It was Rupert Murdoch. He put a Rupert Murdoch mask. Here, I'll show you this isn't.
Please don't.
It's not graphic at all.
Okay.
It's just him holding up the mask and his wife oddly standing behind him. You can't even see his wife in this one here. See? And he put the mask on her, and I couldn't tell if it. And that was the other part. Like, I couldn't tell if he was simulating it or if it was really happening.
I feel like either way,
it was messed up. Yeah, this is the thing. It was like, either way, this is weird and bizarre, and I hate that I was a part of it.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't. We've got to stop this. This got again. I don't know why there is. If I got to write this thing, I'll write it. But there should be a test to run for office.
I think it's going to take you having to actually physically sit down and write this thing before, because nobody else is going to do it if you don't do it.
Nobody's doing it. I mean, I don't even. It's to show how unqualified I am. I mean, I could maybe come up with 10 questions. I wouldn't know. I mean, what would I ask? You have to know some basic law. You have to know what a president can and can't do. You have to know the Constitution. I mean, you have to know a lot of things in order to run.
But this is like, don't you feel like this is the post Donald Trump presidency floodgates, that now that he was president, everybody feels like they can do anything, run for any government. And here's the thing. Everybody always said like anybody can be president, and it's a nice feeling. But the truth of the matter was that wasn't true at all. Like, not everybody could be president.
Anybody can be president, but not everybody can be a good president. You know, anybody can get elected.
It is very hard to have a universally liked good president. I feel like the last one we had was George Washington. I think he was the last universally loved president of the United States. We got one. Sure there
was some guy who was like, I don't know about this tall guy, this asshole with a powdered wig. I mean, in his wooden teeth or ivory teeth or whatever the hell he had.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there was one asshole who was like, I don't know about this guy.
I'm sure there was.
They wanted to make him king, though. You know.
But he was the one that was like, no.
Nope. This is what we left.
That's how good he was.
George Washington knew what he was talking about.
Yeah.
But that was it. Everybody was like, let's get on board with George Washington. After that, it was like 50-50 or as close to 50-50 as you can get.
Yeah.
With like almost everybody else.
And if I'm not mistaken, he left after one term and he voluntarily was like, this is it. I'm not doing this again. It might have been two. It might have been he left after a second term before term limits were there, but I remember him voluntarily leaving when everybody said you could be president for the rest of your life. We will continue to vote for you. He did
the 2 terms.
He did 2. Okay. So at the end of the second term, he was like, no, this is it. I am leaving. And everybody thought he was crazy because they were like, you could be president forever.
Yeah. He was like, no, thanks. I think he just was like, I'm done with this shit. Who the hell would want to be president forever?
Even
nonstop.
And I would argue that Lincoln was our greatest president because I think he had the toughest thing to ever handle, and he navigated it better than anybody could possibly do. I think he's the only human being that could have done it, and he was not universally liked. Still, half of the country hated his
guts. Which is unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, he brought the country back together after he ended the Civil War. He did so much for the country. And that was, those 2, Washington and Lincoln.
Ridiculous.
And then everybody was like, I don't know about anybody else.
Yeah.
And, we have to get like I don't even know who I would, if you could think of someone if it was like Mr. Rogers, if he was still around, maybe he'd be like the next universally loved guy.
I don't know.
Or like Bob Ross.
I don't know about his foreign policy. And also, Bob Ross would be out of control with his agriculture spending.
That's true. His happy little trees plan.
Like, enough with the bushes, Bob. Let's get the roads back together.
It's my world. And if I want to put happy little trees here, that's what I'm going to do.
We'd be calm as shit. It would be the greatest country at 3 o'clock because everybody would be sitting down to paint.
We'd be passed out. Everybody would fall asleep at every State of the Union. We'd be like,
who said it the other day? Somebody, or I saw a meme or something that was like, where are all the Bob Ross paintings right now?
There is a thing with that. There are a bunch.
Just the thought of that, though, I was like, fuck, where are all those paintings?
There's a ton. I mean, not only the ones that he did a few hundred on air. But then he traveled and painted all over the country.
Yeah.
He did a ton of stuff. that we never saw on TV. You know,
I'd put him in the thousands for paintings on TV.
Absolutely.
You said a few hundred.
He did. I forget how many seasons it was. If it was like, let's say it was like 15 seasons and then 20 shows per season, you know, maybe a little over 1,000.
Oh, that's it? You think? I thought he was like on every single day.
I mean, he had I don't know. He did seasons, but he was. Let me see, Bob Ross.
I remember watching Bob Ross and a couple of other people that just drew on TV. Like they would draw pictures in color and stuff.
Yeah.
And I would watch that when I was younger. I don't,
31 seasons.
There you go.
First episode was 1983. Final episode in 1994. So he was on for 11 years. And they're roughly...
Wait, he did 31 seasons in 11 years?
13 episodes per season. So 13 times 31.
Calculator.
Yep.
Wait, did I have that right? He did 31 seasons?
403. 31 seasons, 13 episodes.
In 11 years.
He did it, yeah, because he didn't follow the regular one season per year thing. He did a series. He called them series. I remember watching them, and he called them series. Like this is the third series in our program.
How many paintings did he do in a show though? Was it 2? I feel like he used to do 2.5 hours.
One in every half hour. I still watch them today. I watched one 2 nights ago. I was watching it just because I'm getting back into painting, and
that explains the last topic.
Shut up.
Where do you go to watch Bob Ross? YouTube?
He's on YouTube. He's on, like, if you search, he's on like IMDb channel, like one of those apps.
Oh, was that right?
But he used to be on Netflix for a long time, and I can't find him on Netflix anymore.
Oh, they can't afford him. That Bob Ross is a hot property.
Right.
That's pretty good.
He's too good. I was telling my wife, he's like too good a person to exist today. Like, you know what I mean? He would be like, if he was around today, I would not want to know his political views. I wouldn't want him to get involved in the BS that goes on today.
I think he would be. I think he'd be like painting like the Capitol and being like, let's put a little Antifa. Let's put a happy little Antifa right here.
Little insurrectionist here. No, it's no good.
Let's make sure that we have a nice little happy bush next to the Q shaman right over here by the speaker's gavel.
Yeah. No, but I just back in the 80s and 90s is where he thrived.
And here's let's put President Trump over here, and he's telling everybody just how special and lovely they are.
There's George W., another happy little bush.
Can you believe George W. is our painter now? How did this happen? What happened to the world? Bob Ross is gone, and George W. is the guy that's out there going, I'm just going to paint everybody. It's going to be great. And everybody loves him. Did you see this thing the other day that his approval rating went from like 11% amongst Democrats to like 56%? Did you see that?
Because he's no longer, he's not the worst that we've had in recent years.
Exactly, because he is not Donald Trump. Everybody went back and reevaluated. As much as we hated that guy, he's not Donald Trump. That's how all these people feel. It's exactly. Unbelievable.
I mean, he sucked. I'll give you that. W sucked.
Yeah.
The war was bullshit. But again, he's no Donald Trump.
S.C. Cup was saying, and she's a Republican. She was saying, and she was like,
"Who's this?"
S.C. Cup, who's a Republican, was saying, like, I didn't love. It turns out she said, and I quote, a lot of George W.'s policies really didn't age well.
Yeah, and plus the economy tanked.
Right.
Everything. He's not great.
But she said that he was still not like Trump. I cut you off from what you were going to say. Go ahead, please.
No, I was just saying, like, say what you will about his presidency, but his personality is likable. He's a nice guy.
Was always charismatic, yes.
Charismatic. He may not have been a great president, but at least he's a nice on a personal level. Like when you see him in interviews and when you see him just hanging around people.
Yeah.
And he's just a goofy bastard.
And oddly intelligent. Like he wasn't
Smarter than given credit for.
Traditionally smart person. He was oddly intelligent. Like, he did have quite a bit of intelligence, although it really didn't seem like it
He goofed up a lot during speeches, the whole fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice. You can't fool me twice.
You're right. And
that was bad.
And he got played by Cheney a lot. But you know what? A lot of presidents flub a lot of things. Like, it's hard to be in that spot.
You're giving speeches all the time. You're gonna misread and F up stuff. You're gonna get caught saying stupid stuff. But again, he's just the personality. There's two types. There's your presidency and your personality. Presidency sucks. His personality, he seems to, and he's friends with Michelle Obama. Remember how they were hanging out.
I'll tell you what,
stuff.
Everybody, whenever you bring up George W. Bush now, everybody points to the fact that him and Michelle Obama are like best
It's
pals.
so weird. It's like a sitcom waiting to happen.
It's like a buddy cop movie. I feel like they could make a great buddy cop movie. Like the two of them just being wacky and goofy with each other, and
George and Michelle.
Yeah.
Hitting the streets.
Solving crimes,
I love it.
Lethal Weapon 6. I feel like you slide those two right in for Riggs and Murtaugh, and nobody's going to miss a beat.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
I'm watching.
That would be fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Speaking of F-ups, the New York Post. I was so disappointed in them yesterday. Did you see what happened with the Post?
No, what happened?
Over the past weekend, this story started circulating about how Kamala Harris wrote a book called Superheroes Are Everywhere.
Oh, I saw something about this. What happened?
Yeah, so this story started circulating everywhere that they were handing out this book in welcoming kits for people that are immigrating in. Right, so that at these centers, you get like a little welcome basket or whatever you get. You get a bag with some stuff in it, and that in the bag was Kamala Harris's book, which spurred the story of, well, they're ordering Kamala Harris's book to hand out to the kids and everything, so that then became Kamala Harris is profiting off of immigrants, which all turned out to be blatantly untrue. What had happened was they're books for immigrants coming in. So a lot of them are getting donated. A lot of them are part of book drives. You don't want a book anymore. You hand it in.
Right.
And they collect all those books. And for the people coming in, here's a book for you, so you can read. So one of the books was it turns out there was her book there, but it was only one, and it had been collected at a book drive.
So they wrote this whole thing based on seeing one copy of the book?
The story with the Post comes from the fact that they gave a reporter named Laura Italiano, who I believe also owns a string of Italian delis.
Okay.
Because if you go to any deli and you order the Italiano, you're gonna get it. If you just walk into a deli and go, "Give me the Italiano," you're gonna get a sandwich.
Side note here.
Yeah.
I haven't had a good Italian hero. It's been a long time. There's no really good delis around me, and you get the Italian hero with all the different meats and the thing and the red peppers on it.
Yeah.
When you order like a 6-foot hero,
mm-hmm.
when you get the Italian side, I feel like that's the best sandwich. Like they should make that sandwich and just cut it up and sell that in stores, because you can only get that when you order a 6-foot sandwich. I never see it anywhere.
It's called the Italian. You go in there, give me the Italian.
I'm not talking about like the small hero bread, cut up, I'm talking about make a 6-foot hero.
Oh,
cut it into pieces, and you get that big hunk of bread.
Yeah.
And that's what I want. I want to bite into it, and all of it comes flying out onto the plate.
You go to any deli and say, "Give me the Italiano" or the Tony Soprano. It's named one of the two.
Or the Godfather.
Or the Godfather. That's it. It's one of those three. That's it.
One of those.
That is all it is. Speaking of which, I got a good Soprano story coming up in a bit. Soprano and LeBron James. What a piece of shit he is. Anyway.
Soprano or is LeBron James?
LeBron. I will never speak ill of Tony Soprano or James Gandolfini. You want to know something? I can't do roasted red peppers on sandwiches.
How old are you?
Too much agita. Can't do them.
Come on.
I got to stay away from them. And I'll have you know that just yesterday I was craving a little prosciutto, fresh schmutz. And I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I get from this deli that they make a really mean panini. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to let them put that in the panini press, crust up that bread a little bit and make it all nice. What a massive mistake, Frank. What a huge mistake.
You got to throw in a Pepsi AC or something.
Well, you know what they did? They cooked it for too long. They actually cooked the prosciutto.
Oh, that's
right?
So good. It gets hard and gross.
And it's got like pinkish, like a, instead of like that, cured color, it was like this warm pink. It was awful. It was awful.
No, you can't put prosciutto in a panini, I guess. That's no good.
Yeah, I learned that lesson. I can't try. I figured they'd just, toast the crust a little bit, get a nice thing going on the outside, but it was a mistake.
I think it's anything cured. Any cured meats in a
can't
panini.
Be warm. Gotta be cold. Ice cold. Yeah.
That's the way to go every time.
Anyway, so this story is circulating, and the post goes to Laura Italiano. Here, write this story. So Laura Italiano goes, okay. She starts doing.
She goes, oh!
Yeah. Forget about it. I'll have it back to you in 20 minutes.
I'll write this friggin' thing right now.
This poor Irish girl.
We can say that because we're Italian.
Right. So she starts looking into it, and she realizes that it's not even a story. It was like one copy. She finds out what happened. She calls her. She does what a journalist should do. She calls around.
Research. Good for her. Does
the research. She goes, this didn't happen. She goes back to the post. She goes, it's a great idea, but it didn't happen. They turn around and tell her, write it anyway.
No.
Swear.
We know that for a fact?
Fact. So she goes, I'm not writing this. So they're like, you have to write this. This happened. You have to write it. She goes, I found out, blah, blah, blah. Finally, she resigns. She left the paper because she refused to write this story that was blatantly untrue. Then the Post published the story. This is what I don't understand. Then the Post published the story. Then like 2 hours pass. The Washington Post, and I know people are going to say, oh, the Washington, but then every other paper in the country confirmed that it wasn't true. So the Post took it down, and then they put it back up without the part that included the fact that Kamala Harris was forcing her book on people.
So what's the story?
Which was basically, the story became that it was one copy and blah, blah, blah. So they fixed the story. They didn't issue a retraction or anything else. And now this poor reporter can't, and I'll tell you what, her resignation was so sad because she was like, I didn't want to write the story and I didn't fight hard enough. So I'm leaving, and I enjoy all my colleagues and I'm going to miss all of them. So now she's out of a job.
I feel like she's going to catch fire because of this. And someone's gonna pick her up.
She should.
She's got that credibility, and now she's got a little fame, a little notoriety behind her. She's got that honest backing. That I stood for my principles. Come on over to our paper, where we stand for our. That's
right.
They got to pick her up. Someone's gonna pick her up.
I can't understand the Post, who I actually for.
That's fucked up.
Kind of smutty, tabloidy thing. Like, I feel like they do a great job. Like, they're not the New York Times. And right. You know what the Post is. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like they do their job as good as some of the really great journalistic papers, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? They do what they do as well as what other people do. I don't understand why they would do this and then let this poor girl leave when they know, like, what did they think was going to happen? That every other outlet was just going to go along and not
what is this, run it anyway? I mean, that's you're going to get found. This is not something that's going to get
right.
Especially if it's about the vice president, someone's going to be like, what the hell is this?
And I'm not even talking about the right and left slant, because every outlet's going to write towards their side. You could take any story and slant it towards your side a little bit.
Sure.
That's different from filling in facts that are blatantly untrue and easily provable that they're not true.
No good. I'm glad that it was found out quickly. It wasn't like something that caught fire and was ridiculous. And It was one thing. It went out, and then everybody pounced on it.
Almost instantaneous. And what breaks why I'm so angry about it is because it's like I just said, you're gonna get found. You just said too. You're gonna get found out. It's gonna be disproven. In this era of we're barely holding on to any sort of journalistic integrity, why would you knowingly go out there and try and push this obviously false narrative? You know what I'm saying? It's not a good look.
Even if let's say you're a bad person and you want to just smear the vice president, you want to put out something bad. That person you'd think that person would go, this isn't going to work. How am I going to get, how am I going to get away with this? Even if I want to put this out,
right,
which I do, no one's going to believe it, and it's going to be figured out in 2 seconds, and I'm going to look like a dick.
And with any president or vice president, if you want to write an anti-vice president piece, you can do so on any one of the 12 things they do over the course of a day. You can take it, put it on your slant, and say how it's bad for your people. Like, you could do that easily.
This is easily provable. This is something that everybody's going to be like, no, you're wrong. And then not to mention the reporter coming out and saying, I said this was not good,
Right.
She's got her story.
It's so stupid. Be like, hey, this policy Kamala's backing is awful for America, and here's why. Like, you could write that. Doesn't matter what we're talking about, you can write it.
No sell of the papers.
It's just, I don't know. I mean, and this one was just like a massive blunder. Like, whoever that higher up was that forced the issue should be fired. They should lose their job for something like this. If you ask
knowingly
me.
Putting out a false story,
100%. And it's not, and you know me, I'm not to fire everybody because they're caught up in whatever heat thing there is right now.
Cancel them.
But this is not a cancel thing. For me, this is you just did your job really poorly. Like, this was a grade A shit decision.
Yeah, I don't even think they didn't do their job. They did the opposite of their job.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the, when you think you get news, you go to, this is what we go to for, you can't knowingly lie in the,
right.
That's not what we're here for.
And the other thing I don't like is trust your team, trust your guys, trust your, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if Laura's one of your guys, you know what I'm saying? And she comes back to you and goes, I'm sorry. It's just that, tried to do it and it's just not true. Be like, all right. The fact that you turned on your team really bugs me as well, too, And
I wonder if I'll play devil's advocate a little. If the person in charge was like, well, I have sources. I know what I'm talking about. This has really happened. I don't know who you're talking to, but
maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I hope, it was that something like that and not, screw it, let's just put it out anyway. It's a lie, but I don't care.
Again, I feel like in this era, if it wasn't this, you could just move on to the next thing if you want to knock Kamala Harris. There's plenty to choose from with any politician anywhere because they're all doing things throughout the course of a day, backing a policy, whatever it is. You can.
You might if you disagree with it, then write about it.
Then write about it. But this one,
you can't just make up shit and go and run with it.
And I really hate that they didn't support their team member. That's what really I think bothers me more than anything else.
Yeah, not cool.
All right, let's go to Giuliani and Hunter Biden. This is an interesting story.
Okay.
Go ahead. What do you want to say?
No, I read that as Giuliani Hunter. I was like, they hunted him today. They tracked him down.
We're gonna get into the Giuliani Hunter for sure. Remember the MILF Hunter? Is MILF Hunter still around? I feel like MILF Hunter ruled the porn world like 25 years ago. Remember that? It was like all about MILF Hunter this, MILF Hunter that.
I don't know. You were executive producer on that. I don't know.
All right. Fucking Frank. Hero Soap Company, best soap out there in the world. No parabens, no cancer-causing agents. They're made, handcrafted here in the US of A. That's something that I can say about the major national brands. They have parabens and God knows what else in there, dyes and what, I don't even know what. Hero Soap goes, you know what? We're going to make an all-natural product, and who cares what color it turns out to be? It doesn't matter.
Ooh.
It doesn't have to be green if it's not supposed to be green. If there's not green stuff in it.
What color is the mint one?
It's not going to be green.
What do you like?
The peppermint and cool. It's like this. God, was it not beige, but it's like I don't know. It's hard to describe. It's not a traditional. It's like I guess
chartreuse. No, I don't.
Chartreuse. Anyway, they got all sorts of great soaps. They're cut in cubes, not perfectly, might I add you. I mean, they're a good square, but you can tell it's handmade, which is what I like. You know, there's nothing like oddly, stamped in it or whatever.
Cool.
Anyway, buy a bar of this. They send a bar to the active troop members defending our freedoms right now as we speak. So again, this would be a great gift for moms. Frank said before, if you don't buy a shirt from the merch store, anthonyonair.com, grab some Hero Soap, especially for somebody, a military mom. I mean, this is a great.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to love something like this.
Not only are you getting them a nice gift, you're supporting her fellow troops.
Something that's near and dear to her heart. Absolutely, 100%. You could also, it's like $7 a bar of soap, and that's because they send a bar over to the troops, and then like we always say, they're building homes for, the veterans as well. So they're taking a little money out for that as well. But if you're like, oh, I can't just buy mom a $7 bar, like I got to get mom like something significant, do the subscription. You can get her like a year's worth of soap. You spend like around $100 because you get a discount when you use the promo code Anthony, and now you got her a nice little gift. Lasts the whole year,
and every bar she gets,
one
goes over.
It's a great little thing. So grab the link in the description below for this episode, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. By the way, hit those thumbs up the video right now if you can. Always helps.
Do it, please.
Or if you're listening on one of your favorite podcast networks. And if you're listening on Apple Podcast, go ahead and rate and review. That would be just fantastic. All right, I didn't want to plug this, Frank, because I wasn't sure if it was going to happen.
What are you plugging?
But we have another TikTok thing.
Oh, God.
This one my wife saw. Somebody poured a package of ranch
the powder
seasoning into a jar of pickles.
Okay.
Let it marinate for 24 hours. So at the end of the show, I'm going to pour these in, and then Friday we're going to give them a try.
What does it matter the type of pickle?
Does it matter the type of pickle, producer? No. We got BNGs here. I don't know what that means.
No. I mean, like...
we got deluxe kosher dill. You want to know why?
Why?
Not anti-Semitic. That's why. Love the Jews.
Good thing to be.
Big Jewish fan.
Because there's garlic pickles, there's dill, there's half sour, there's sour. I mean, what do we work with?
I don't know.
What's the TikTok thing say?
Producer walked away, so I don't know.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and go with deluxe kosher dill because that's what she bought.
Perfect. Love it.
So there you go.
And then the ranch is just the powdered seasoning, like for the dip.
Yeah, now you have to pour. I'll do it at the end of the show. We'll talk about it some more. But you got to pour it in. You got to let it stand for 24 hours. So if you want to do it, Frank, you still have time to do it before our next episode on Friday.
I got to go buy some dip and some pickles. I actually have pickles, but they're not the ones you got.
Oh, is that right?
They're I forget which ones.
These are spears too. Are you a spear guy or you're a whole pickle guy? I'm traditionally a whole pickle guy.
I like the whole pickle. I like the I think I got the half sour, the ones that look I don't know, sometimes they're white, but sometimes,
Is there anything more exciting for a male that when your wife drags you to one of these farmers markets things?
Oh, the pickle guy.
And you round the corner and you just see like 16 barrels and you're like, oh shit, we're going to get a fucking pickle today.
Years ago, they had one by me. It was a farmers market, street fair thing, whatever it was. And my wife and I brought my nieces. My two nieces, at the time, they were like 6 and 8 years old or something. We brought them there. They had rides and all this stuff. And we go up the block. It was like 9 blocks long, this thing. And in the middle of it was a truck, pickle on a stick, $1 a pickle. And it was just a, like a spear with a huge pickle on it. Yeah. The line was like a block long. And we waited and we got pickles, and it was a great day.
Nothing like a good old pickle. Does it matter what kind of pickle? Did she also choose? She used this exact one, kosher dill spears? Yes. With whole spices, B&G. A New York tradition since 1889.
See, I like Batamti.
What do you like?
Pickles. Batamti.
Batamti?
Yeah, that pickle.
Oh,
I have it in the fridge. They're good. They have that like red and white stripe on it. The stripes. It's red and white. You find it in the kosher section.
It's got to be the ranch seasoning. What is it? Was there different types of ranch? Salad dressing and recipe mix. New look, same great flavor. I always love how people are going to be like, if we change the look, we have to tell everybody it's the same great flavor. They might be worried that the packaging has affected the flavor.
So now that's the seasoning or the mix for the dressing. But I got news for you. They sell the dressing in bottles.
Already made.
You don't have to make it yourself.
Yeah, why? That's true. Why do I have this? I mean, I get you could put it on other stuff, but the finished product is already done.
I mean, I guess for seasoning wise, if you want to.
How do you make
dressing
or
something?
How do you make dressing out of this too? Do you just add water? Because that would be.
I think
really
mayonnaise or something. I'm not really sure. Cream. I'm sure there's milk or something. It's got to be some kind of dairy thing. Not really sure.
Fresh dressing directions. Okay, hold on. In a bowl, combine 1 cup of whole milk and 1 cup of mayonnaise. You're right. With contents of packet.
It's always mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
Unless it's oil. I mean, you could do like a ranch. Do they have a ranch, like an oily ranch thing, like Italian dressing?
Yeah, they do. That's
okay.
That's, I feel like that's a little racist there. You just said that, oily Italians, but okay.
I didn't say greasy.
Speaking of Rudy Giuliani.
It is a greasy.
He is. So I knew we had a story when Jay Sabs is tweeting me. Rudy Giuliani's getting raided by the FBI earlier today.
It's a wonderful. Did you see the video of his son? Not to jump ahead.
No.
But there's a video of Rudy Giuliani's son talking to the press afterwards,
and
a lot of people, everybody's comparing him to
Chris Farley,
Will Ferrell.
Oh, to Will Ferrell.
If you see the video, everybody's going, I can't wait to see Will Ferrell's guest appearance on Saturday Night Live this weekend.
All right, you're gonna pull it up while I start the story?
I'm going to get it. Yeah.
All right, so here's the thing. So Giuliani gets his New York City apartment raided. And I did kind of think like, I wonder what's going to happen to the Hunter Biden stuff. Now Giuliani is saying that the federal agents ignored the copies of Hunter Biden's hard drives when they raided his apartment.
Sure.
That's kind of crazy because I'm thinking like, if he's got this stuff in possession, which remember when he was supposed to release that, he's like, we're going to release.
You know why they didn't release it?
There's probably to it.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Which is probably heartbreaking for a lot of hardcore Republicans. But anyway, they raided his apartment to investigate his dealings in the Ukraine on Donald Trump's behalf. In a statement released by his lawyer, Giuliani said the FBI steadfastly declined to take the hard drives when he offered them on several occasions.
I'm sure they turned that down. No, we don't want any evidence for a case. We're good.
Keep in mind that the agents could not read the physical hard drives without plugging them in, but they took Mr. Giuliani's word that the hard drives were copies of Hunter Biden's hard drive and did not contain anything pertaining to Mr. Giuliani, the statement said. Their reliance on Mr. Giuliani's credibility tells you everything you need to know about this case. The raid was reportedly tied to an investigation into whether Giuliani illegally lobbied for President Trump on behalf of officials and oligarchs in the Ukraine, where the former mayor went to dig up dirt against then candidate Joe Biden and his son Hunter Biden. The probe grew out of pending prosecution of Lev Parnas and Igor Fruman, two business associates who allegedly helped introduce him to Ukraine officials and who are awaiting trial on unrelated campaign finance charges. The statement from lawyer Robert Costello described Wednesday's action against Giuliani as an example of how the Justice Department is running roughshod over constitutional rights of anyone involved in or legally defending the former president of the United States.
Yeah, well, when you break the law to defend him, that's what you get. You get raided. Now,
It is outrageous. It is outrageous that the Trump derangement syndrome has gone so far that hatred has driven this unjustified and unethical attack on the United States attorney and mayor.
That stupid phrase.
Who did more to reduce crime than virtually any other American in history.
Oh, God, okay. I can't.
I'm not saying he didn't do a fantastic job reducing crime when he was the attorney.
Back in the day, 20-something years ago.
Yeah, he cleaned up a lot of things. He really did. But that's kind of a crazy statement.
He's a lunatic now. So now, here's Rudy Giuliani's son doing his best, Will Ferrell. Let's see if I can.
See, it ain't easy to play that shit when it's backwards like that, right?
Do I ever make fun of you?
Yes, you do, all the time.
All right, maybe. Okay, here we go.
Mind you, I'm speaking as a son and a concerned American.
Oh, my God.
Anybody, any American, whether you were red or blue.
Oh, what'd I do?
You took a picture of yourself, idiot.
Great.
Extremely disturbed by what happened here today, by the continued politicization of the Justice Department. This is disgusting. This is absolutely absurd, and it's the continued politicization of the Justice Department that we have seen. Mind you, I'm speaking to the son.
He's even talking in the cadence of Will Ferrell.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to happen. It's got to.
That's crazy.
That's going to be great on Saturday Night Live. Look forward to that.
I'm really weirded out, though. If they should have taken everything. Like, how do you go there and he goes, here's Hunter Biden stuff, and they go, no, that's okay. Like, if you're there to get stuff, you take hard drives, you take it all.
Doubt that happened is my answer to you. You believe what Giuliani says?
No.
Okay.
I don't believe Giuliani's lawyers any more than I believe Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyers.
There you go. So Giuliani maybe not telling the truth.
Well, here's what doesn't make sense from that end of it. There's not a fucking TV channel that wouldn't buy the special of Rudy Giuliani releasing the depravity that is Hunter Biden's hard drive.
Yeah. Why hasn't it come out yet?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the point. Like, there's nobody that wouldn't scoop all this up. And
you think it would have come out before the election? Good time to do that.
And why isn't there any? If I blazingly lied to everybody, I would feel like I wouldn't be able to show my face anymore. Exactly. These people,
because they do it like they're breathing. That's just the way they operate. So when you're a politician or a lawyer, you do and say what you have to do and say just to justify whatever you're doing. That's it.
Yet he's not the biggest piece of shit we have on this episode. That award goes to LeBron James.
Oh, what did he do?
And I didn't call him this when he doxed that police officer. I didn't call LeBron James a piece of garbage when he held that I'm going to sign somewhere special like 20 years ago and he signed in Miami. But I'm calling him this now because as we learned from the great and beautiful and endlessly talented Edie Falco, she was on Chuck D's podcast. He's got a new podcast.
Okay.
And they were just talking, and she says that one time and one time only since they wrapped shooting of The Sopranos did James Gandolfini get back into character to play Tony Soprano. And it was for a video that people in New York were making to try and lure LeBron James to the Knicks. And this scumbag piece of shit turned down Tony Soprano and the great James Gandolfini. How can you be?
You're an idiot.
This is the lowest life form we've ever seen.
See, I knew. As soon as I saw Tony Soprano and LeBron James, and you started with he's a piece of shit, I knew it was simply because anything against Tony Soprano, whoever says is a piece of shit. Doesn't matter. It could be Mother Teresa. You would call if Mother Teresa was like that Tony Soprano's a bad egg, he'd be like, "What?"
Greatest character ever created, and played by one of the greatest actors of our time.
That's
and in one of the best shows with one of the best endings ever. don't stop believing, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But here's what happened.
Stopped.
So obviously, shut up. Obviously, like everybody tried to get The Sopranos and all this shit and all this jazz, right? And there was a couple of times where he did like a few things, like he did a commercial for Rutgers during the Sopranos. He did a spot on SNL where he kind of played a New Jersey guy. There was little things like that. But since this show ended, nobody had done anything. And so the way that Edie Falco told the story was they go, we want you to play Carmela Soprano with James Gandolfini. And she laughs and goes, yeah, okay, he's never going to do it. And I know this because he's turned down the last 400 times somebody's asked us to do this. And they go to her, no, he's already committed to it. So he committed to doing this to get LeBron James to come to the Knicks. And that son of a bitch piece of shit fucking turned his nose up.
He might be a little biased. He's got to do what he's got to do for his family.
Fuck him and the horse he rode in on. That piece of garbage.
Isn't Tony Soprano from Jersey anyway?
True. Should have been for the Nets, I guess, when you think about
it. I mean, come on.
But they were Brooklyn by this time anyway. No,
you
but
should get what's his name to do. What was the other guy from New York? Johnny something or other.
Who?
The guy from New York.
Johnny Sack.
Johnny Sack.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
You get him.
I'm dying to see this now. I want to know what they did. What they did in the video.
Was it released to the public? It wasn't, right?
No, but it's somewhere. You got to think that it's. There's no way that this isn't going to get out in a. This was like. When Jim Carrey was filming the Andy Kaufman movie and they said they were filming a documentary, I waited 15 fucking years for that thing to come out, and it finally came out. It was so satisfying to watch. I know this is going to follow suit. We've got to see this one day. By the way, you want to know who else is in the video?
Is it, I told you, you're son of a, with the rings. What's his name? Walnut? Paulie Walnuts?
No, non-Soprano related.
Oh, well, who?
Well, obviously Spike Lee.
Scooby-Doo.
No, okay. Spike Lee. De Niro was in it.
Nice.
And Donald Trump.
Oh, that's why he turned it down.
Jonathan Hawk, who directed a lot of 30 for 30s for ESPN, oversaw the 10-minute short, which had Donald Trump, Robert De Niro, Spike Lee, and James Gandolfini reuniting with Edie Falco to play Tony and Carmela Soprano. They didn't even go on to say what the shtick was that they did, but just the fact that it was impossible to get Gandolfini to do this, and he did it for LeBron James, and that heartless, soulless fuck went somewhere else. I mean, I don't even know how you.
It's a rough take, man.
Who passes up on New York, anyways? I mean, This is you're the king of the world when you come here. Any endorsement deal, celebrities, just being in this area, you have access to so many opportunities and things.
I'm sure he had his reasons. He's not just going to go, fuck New York.
Yeah, I'm sure he had piece of shit was his reason.
Yeah, right.
Thank God he didn't come here. The whole fucking infrastructure would have crumbled around that devil incarnate fuckface.
Wow. You get passionate over the dumbest shit. You really do.
I'm very loyal to things that are great.
That's fine, but there's a limit, man. You gotta relax a little bit.
Who the fuck does he think he is? At Miami to start a super team, then he goes back to Cleveland, then he fucking leaves them again to go to Los Angeles? I hope he fucking twists his ankle and never recovers.
Why aren't people allowed to jump teams? Why can't people do that all the time?
I don't think I would ever say no. Even if I didn't want to come to New York, I'd be like, well, Jesus Christ, look at what this guy has done. The greatest actors in one of the greatest roles. And he came back to do. You think James Gandolfini wanted to fucking do that on a Saturday that he had off?
Yeah, but it's the Knicks. I mean, you don't want to.
I mean, that's a.
I mean, to be fair, the offer was to be on the Knicks.
That is true. You do make a good point here.
So
you do make a really good point.
I just destroyed your whole argument.
Another huge basketball fan is this Adam Sandler. I can't believe how popular this story is.
Did you Adam Sandler guy?
Did you see this? It was so much to do about nothing, but it caught so much heat in the press today.
No, but What did he? I avoided the press today for some reason.
Well, it started on TikTok too, which everything in the press now starts on social media first.
God.
This girl put the way she did it. I will say was really good. She had this like clown face on, like a clown face effect. Wait, hold on.
Okay, like a filter.
Speaking of which, let's bring in our clown and Adam Sandler expert, and that's Jay
And
Sabs.
TikTok expert.
Oh God.
And our TikTok expert. Yeah. Did you see the TikTok Adam Sandler story?
Where he's waiting for something.
Yes. Actually, she's
Okay.
right. she's
Okay.
she's
When
actually
something
blinking.
happens with a thing.
yeah. So
Yeah,
she
exactly.
she puts this like clown face effect on, and
This is some
yeah,
random
yeah.
person, right? This
It's
is not-
actually. So I want to interrupt you there.
go ahead.
That sound, which you are playing right now,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, it's not a clown funny haha. It's more like a person uses it to kind of like make fun of themselves.
Right.
Like, look at me, look what I did.
Right. Like I was an idiot in this moment.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Oh,
Right.
like I clowned it up.
Yeah.
Right.
See.
Right.
And that's basically this is basically the video. So she doesn't realize that Adam Sandler walked into she's the maitre d', or what would you say, seating hostess or whatever at the
Yeah.
IHOP. She doesn't realize that Adam Sandler has walked into the IHOP and he asks to be seated, and she tells him it's a half hour, and he goes, a half hour, all right, and he leaves.
Let me tell you something. Let me just tell you something. If I was her, I'd be using that, because I would be so upset. Like, I'm getting upset right now because I had kind of this opportunity
To have
Okay, let me
pancakes
tell you.
with Adam Sandler?
No,
Oh.
it was to meet LL Cool J.
Oh, to meet LL Cool J. Okay.
Don't call it a comeback.
So, Frank,
What?
took me by surprise. This gym teacher in junior high school that I was a monitor for. I don't know why I said that, but like I would help him. Like I was basically like his assistant back then, all the way back then. And he is
Why do I feel like I'm gonna have to answer questions from a judge at the end of before?
This podcast is going to end up in some trial.
Yeah, he.
I feel like this is gonna be
With
subpoenaed.
Janine, yeah.
Go ahead.
He was a bodybuilder at one point, and then like he is a trainer, and he wrote a book with LL Cool J.
Okay.
Now, here's where it gets interesting.
I'm waiting for that. Go ahead.
There was a Barnes and Noble near my office in the city,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to go there, pick out books because I like to read. I know, like, oh my God, she knows how to read. I kid you not. I walk in there and it says LL Cool J signing, and I'm like, oh my God, like that's so cool. Oh my God, I would love to meet him, but like obviously you have to like sign up in advance for it. It's on one side of the store. I take a picture, like over the bookshelf, whatever I did. I posted on Facebook, and one of my friends was like, Janine, that's Mr. Honig. And I was like, wait, what? She was like, he's standing right next to LL Cool J. Hello, you could have went up to him and been like, oh my God, Mr. Honig, don't you remember me? And you could have met LL Cool J.
You could have been,
was a
yeah.
fucking missed opportunity.
Why didn't you just get online?
Because it was crazy long, and it was during work.
So you could have
And
cut everybody and saw your
Exactly.
gym teacher, whatever.
Janine.
Exactly.
My
I know.
God.
Am I an idiot? And it's because I wasn't wearing my glasses that I didn't realize, because I can't see far. I mean, come on.
You could have met LL Cool J, hit it off with him. He's like, Janine, why don't you do this walk-on part on NCIS Los Angeles? You get a part. They love you. You're on there. Then he's like, you know what? They keep wanting me to host the Grammys, even though I'm talentless. Do you want to do it with me? And you're like, yeah, LL Cool J.
Talentless? She's like talentless?
You know what?
Wow.
Like, not for nothing. Thanks. Now this is a real huge missed opportunity.
You could have been co-hosting the
Come on.
Grammys. Actually, you probably would have been hosting the Grammys, because after standing next to Talent Pool over there, you'd have been like, they'd been like, oh, let's go with this girl instead of the guy who's just
Now,
sucking
you know
the
what? I
air
didn't
out
even
of her.
realize all this stuff that could have happened until
Yeah.
you just said it. My dreams of becoming an actress could have been there.
And no, just I want to apologize to LL Cool J. I'm all fired up from the LeBron James thing still. He's got a lot
against LL Cool J.
He's fine. I like him. He's a great rapper.
Besides his mama telling him to knock you out.
He's a great actor. He's just a dog shit awful host of the Grammys. Every time he hosts at Grammys, it just makes me want to have a real host that's a comic with talent. That's all. But he's fine. I love him. He's from Queens. I am ride or die with Queens people, so I'll defend him. 100%.
You're not in a good mood.
Yeah.
Apparently, some girl that I worked with slept with him once.
That's awesome.
Back in the day.
I bet you
I
bet you he's got some tripod setup going on.
I mean, he needs, yeah.
Do you realize that Janine and LL Cool J could have been the new George W. and Michelle Obama, and we missed that great opportunity?
That could have happened. Oh. You missed out.
People have been like, look, they come from such different backgrounds, but they're so hysterical and cute together. That could have been a whole thing.
We could have been like the Michael Strahan and the other chick that that talk show in the
Kelly Ripa.
Kelly Ripa.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, it was. I'm thinking about the other show that he hosted before with her.
Ironically, you would have been Michael and Kelly when you go to your local Halloween parties because you guys have been such close friends going to parties and such. So that would have been the whole.
You could have been best friends with LL Cool J.
I know. The best part would be when Frank and I called you. You would have total justification to not pick up anymore. Which might be the best part about it.
With no excuse now.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Oh my God. And then I think probably that I would have lost it if I met him too. Like the Mr. Big thing, I was the oldest and the most craziest when I met him. Meaning like the reaction for me was just embarrassing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like I was 18 or 20. I mean, come on, dum-dum. I was 32.
No,
I love that you found out on social, like it took a friend to point out the blunder, like well after that. Like that's like such a nightmare.
You know what it was? I posted it, and then when I got home from work, I saw that he said, "Janine, that's Mr. Honig. Like you could have met." Sorry, but you could have met LL Cool J today. And I'm like, what the fuck?
You could have been going back to Cali.
No.
I don't think so. But yeah.
You don't know.
Now, were you married to your husband?
Yes. He put up, that's probably one of my free passes.
If LL said, I was going to say, if LL said, let's go into the pencil room of the bookstore here, would you have gone?
Yes.
So you could have been doing it and doing it and doing it?
And doing it well. But we both represent Queens because I wasn't raised out in Brooklyn.
Now, is that a hall pass? Would your husband not be able to get upset or would he be angry?
He's a hall pass. And you know who else is too that I met him and I didn't go crazy, but I think I was just like, what? Mark Wahlberg. I met him.
You got how many hall passes you got?
I did. A few. I'm Janine. I got a few.
When did you meet Mark Wahlberg? I never heard the story. I don't think.
2010. He was filming that movie with
don't tell me that.
Will Ferrell.
Oh.
With Will Ferrell.
Mm-hmm. Good Guys?
Yes. And I knew where his trailer was, so I waited outside for a good 45 minutes.
Waiting outside his trailer.
On my lunch
like
hour.
A stalker.
And he finally came by, and there was no one else around. There wasn't even like any production people. It was just him. I have a picture. He's like this, waving.
Is he like 2 feet shorter than you? Because that's what I imagine.
No, he wasn't.
Your height. Okay. I see him as being short. Don't know why.
Definitely wasn't short in another place, but.
How do you know?
Boogie Nights. That's
that wasn't real.
Come on.
I know you want it to be real, but it was not real. Did you call him Marky Mark?
Yeah. I said Mark.
I hear he gets pissed at that.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure, yeah.
But I was like, Mark, hi, can I have a picture? Hi, thank you.
Did he take a picture
I
with
should
you?
have said not with me. I took it like
Oh,
with him because and like selfies weren't really a thing back then anyway. So
Did he stop and like acknowledge you, or was he just?
He
just
did.
kept walking.
he did.
All right. Smile.
Yep, he was nice.
Nice.
I
That's good.
definitely could have gotten in his trailer. There's no doubt.
Just waited for him till his scene is over.
Mark.
All right. This is YouTube, by the way.
I just don't know how your husband could be comfortable with you as his wife. I don't like. I can't. I feel
Not
like
to insult you or anything.
for any like actor, you would just be like, but it's Marky Walt. You'd be like, it's Marky Mark.
Not any, but Marky Mark and LL Cool J are big ones. They are big ones. You have to admit. Well, yeah, exactly. Especially Marky Mark. Hello. They are big ones. I mean, like, I wouldn't. Not every actor, but
over 50.
Yeah. Every actor over 50
or 60. Over 60.
Right. 60. Sorry.
I would love to know, to go back to Sandler, I would love to know how she figured this out, because like she had to go back to the footage.
Yeah, somebody must have told her that was Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
that's what happened. Because why would she go back to the footage for anything?
Yeah,
unless it was Adam Sandler. And then she went
back. Yeah. God.
Also, but you know, if he didn't have his mask on, would she have known it was him? You think, or does she not know who Adam Sandler is? Like,
you got to know that dumb face from something. You gotta have to.
Maybe she's really young. I don't know. She could be a teenager that doesn't really know who Adam Sandler is, and what you know.
She's definitely on the younger side. Sandler definitely doesn't mean as much to her as he means to 30 and 40-year-olds. That's for sure.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe she found out, Adam Sandler, and then everybody's like, Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, all this stuff, and she, oh my God.
Yeah. So I think she definitely went back and was like, I'm an idiot. She's like, oh my God, I'm like Janine with LL Cool J.
I mean, it's not like he walked in there like, could I have a table? Whatever the hell he said.
The pancakes. Yeah, I don't.
Pancake.
And by the way, Sandler's coming out of this like $1 million because everybody is saying two things. Like, he's so down to earth that he goes to Ihop, which is everybody thinks is awesome. And also the fact that he didn't flaunt his celebrity.
You know who I am kind of thing. Yeah.
Once he was told it's a half-hour wait, he was like, all right, I got to get out of here.
I wonder, I mean, how often would that happen to him? Like, he gets turned away. You think that was like the first time that's happened?
I think it rarely
with the
ever
mask.
happened.
With the mask, maybe, because some people can't recognize
to be fair,
him. Maybe,
true.
But
yeah, he's wearing the mask and he's dressed in all sweats. Like, he's not like, he probably doesn't have an entourage or whatever with him. He's just some guy in a mask. How do you know it's him, kind of thing? Unless you're a real big fan, and I could see a younger kid, like a teenager, not recognizing him because of, one, he's probably not with a bunch of people. Two, the way he's dressed, he usually dresses in like sweats and stuff. And three, he's got the mask on. So I think it was an honest mistake. If she knew, of course, she would have been like, of course. Well, I don't know what she would have done. What do? You just have to explain. You have to explain to everybody waiting, I'm sorry, you're not as good as Adam Sandler.
I mean, yeah, you kind of have to say that.
Would anybody?
I probably would say that.
Yeah, would anybody be upset if you were waiting for a table and it was like, we gave your table to Adam Sandler? Would you be upset?
I'd be like, can I sit with him?
Yeah, can I sit near him? Thanks.
Can we share
I wouldn't
the
be
table?
upset. You know what I would say? Adam, thanks. You didn't have to wait because of me. Thank you.
I mean, it's the least. It's the least I could do. I'll give up my table for Adam Sandler because of all the years of happiness that he's given me.
Yeah, I feel like how many times we laughed at a Sandler movie or a bit?
Then again, he has millions because of
maybe you guys,
his fans.
I would even go as far as to pick up the tab. I'd be like, don't let him pull out his wallet. That's on me.
That's stupid.
It's also IHOP. What's his meal going to cost? $14.95.
Yeah, but Adam Sandler could pay for a meal.
I know, but now you got Sandler having to be like, hey, thanks for the pancakes.
Exactly, because you know what? They're so used to footing the bill for all their friends, all their family, that when they get their bill taken care of, they really do appreciate it. They do.
How do you know?
I mean, I know. Because I know someone who is has a pretty big wallet, and he kind of
So
said
when
that,
he
like,
gets covered, when someone takes
he's
care of
like,
the bill for him, he's like super grateful.
he's said, like, no one ever offers to pay the bill. It's kind of like I'm always expected to.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
See,
so
that's
say
weird.
So say like all of us went out and we go out regularly, like, to go to eat, and I paid the bill all the time. That's kind of how it was.
But that would be weird. I mean, if we all went out, no matter what each of us make, we all split it. Usually.
Yeah, but if you have someone who's making like a lot more than
if all of a sudden, Janine, if all of a sudden you became a gajillionaire, we wouldn't, and we all went out to eat. We wouldn't say, Janine, you
That's
got
a
this.
lie. You're lying. That is a lie.
You might offer.
After meal 8, you'd be driving home with your wife going, and could this piece of shit with all the money she's got pick up a tab?
We might say that behind your back.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's
but in the moment.
They never said to him, you've got this, right? It was always kind of implied that he should pay for it.
Right.
And he did.
It's like when you go out. It's like when you go out with your mom or your dad and you're 16, you never assume that you're paying the bill. They always have it.
That is different. That is so different.
Well,
you don't have a job. You're 16. You're living at home. If you're going out with your friends, no matter what anybody at that table makes, we all split. Usually, right?
Yeah, no, it's true. But
and now,
I'm
if
saying,
all of a sudden you made $1 million, you're a multimillionaire, and we all go out to eat. We're not gonna just sit there and like, I wonder when Janine's gonna get this bill. We're gonna split it.
I would feel like I would have to pay for it. I would.
You might offer, but we would be like, no.
I'd be like, you know what? I have to pay for this.
You might offer, and you might be like, in celebration of my movie that came out, whatever the hell you're rich for.
My movie with LL Cool J.
I'll treat
you. My movie where I had a 3-way with LL Cool J and Marky Mark.
I'm not gonna lie to you. After the second time of Janine not paying, I would be like, I can't believe how cheap she is with all that money of hers.
See?
Oh yeah, I know. Behind her back, we would definitely talk about her, but in the moment, we'd be like, no, we'll split it.
Yeah.
But behind her back, we're like, that cheap son of a bitch.
If I'd be let's split it. If we were at Ihop, if we were at Le Cirque, I'm looking over at her direction, being like, this one's.
You invited us. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
That also, it's who invited, who said, let's go to this place. Like if Adam Sandler's always like, we got to go to this place. You're coming with me. Then he,
Oh yeah, I guess that's true too in that aspect.
So there was this radio engineer who I never worked with, but he would come in to fix things. And this debate opened up one night. Now, this is a bunch of radio people. They're not making a ton of money. Yeah, everybody makes whatever it is.
Translate that for you.
This guy turns around and says, if somebody invites me out to dinner, I expect them to pay. And I was like,
oh, no.
Absolutely not.
No.
Like he thinks if I go, hey guys, you want to go to dinner, that I should have to pick up the bill for the whole dinner?
Unless the phrasing is I'm taking you to dinner.
Right. That wasn't it.
If I said I'm taking you out to dinner, then the expectation is for me to pay. But if it's like let's go out to dinner, then it's a split job.
But if I want to pay for dinner, I would say, guys, come on, dinner on me, let's go out. I got it. You got to say that beforehand. If I just say, hey, let's go to dinner, this guy expected that person to pick up. It wasn't with me, by the way. It was other people. I was just hearing about it after the fact. He expected the one guy who I think was even like underneath him in sort of the status of pay based on position, expected him to pick up the bill. I was.
Yeah, no.
No, that's not the way.
That's not it.
Not cool. No, you gotta. I think when you go out with friends to a place or coworkers, the default setting is split. Everybody splits, unless there are some other.
Right. Unless you have the company card.
Right, or that.
Or unless Frank's brother is there.
Right.
Unless there are other arrangements being made, the default setting is split.
Right. Oh God, what am I going to do for my husband's 40th? Now Mike set the precedent that I have to pay for everyone. Is that it?
Yeah, that's bullshit.
So we're expecting you to pick up the bill.
You're telling me now.
I'm paying for my wife's 40th, but it's at IHOP, so I'm not too concerned about
Dude,
it.
I love that. Let's go.
And pull one of these. It was good enough for Sandler. It's not good enough for you. I'll give her one of those.
I'm good with IHOP. IHOP would be great.
By the way,
That is a
Sandler
pretty-
dresses like it's still 1996 and Limp Bizkit's on top of the charts. Like
He dressed like Joey when Joey dressed up as Chandler from Friends.
It does. You know what's weird? What is it? April, almost May. He had like a huge heavy coat and sweatpants on.
a sweatshirt on. He had a big North Face sweatshirt. Yeah. But shorts, though.
is
Look how baggy those shorts were.
Yeah, all right. I thought he had
But
sweatpants.
don't you think you would know his voice too? Like, and not the
No.
stupid
When he's not
that
doing
stupid
that.
voice.
When he's not doing that, and he's just like, how long for a
I
table?
wonder.
I don't think you'd get it. Unless he's like Christopher Walken. You're not going to get Adam Sandler's voice through a mask.
Can I have your first name, last name, initial? Adam S. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Plus, you're not expecting that. It's not like a place, I'm sure, that
it's true.
Celebrities are coming in and out.
Yeah, that's true.
I would imagine it's got to be a great time for celebrities that are shy and can easily hide now, and also shitty for people that want to be recognized and have to wear these masks everywhere.
That's true.
They should have clear masks, like clear plastic.
I'll never forget. Do you remember what Steve Martin did? This was early COVID when it first came out that we had to start wearing masks. Steve Martin posted this picture.
Steve Martin.
It's him in a mask, and he put a sign over his head that said Steve Martin with an arrow pointing down.
Is his head shaved?
No, it's just short.
Oh, that's weird.
He's just one of the funny guys ever.
Got the sunglasses. Yeah, you can't tell who people are with his masks, and I mean, especially if you're not expecting it, you don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see. But Frank's a serial killer.
Frank is the most serial killer I have ever seen. So, two things with this: we never gave away the sync thingy. So I want to.
Which is in your possession.
I have it right now. So I want to say congratulations to DJ Shenanigan.
Oh, I like that person.
He was randomly picked.
Or she.
Correct. Very sexist on my part. I apologize to all the liberal people.
Apologize to all people, not just liberal people.
Well, either way. And so we'll get DJ Shenanigan the sync thingy out to you. But there was somebody else, and I don't have it in front of me now, but I will get it.
But not the first time. Definitely not the first time.
I missed the first.
Oh.
Yeah. I missed the first.
Oh, it's like the fifth time.
All right, so let me.
Is it really the fifth time?
No, yes, it's not. It's like the second or third.
No, Frank.
Yes.
I've seen this before, at least 5 times.
Not 5 times.
It's like Clay. Okay. It's Clay Bird, by the way. So Clay Bird writes in, "Love you guys. Love the show. So happy I found you about a year or so ago. I really hope the producer will see this." By the way, Clay, the producer did. She brought it to my attention. I missed it.
Thanks, D.
I've mentioned it a few times. I think it would be a good doppelganger segment. Clay goes on to say a bunch more, but essentially he points out that Frank looks like Joel Guy Jr., who
son of a bitch.
supposedly murdered his parents over Thanksgiving weekend.
I watched the trial. It's a terribly brutal way. It's a terrible thing what he did. He's a monster.
There's something about murdering family members over Thanksgiving weekend that makes it just so much more
even
worse.
Better. Yeah.
The guy is a lunatic monster, and he's, spoiler alert, if you're watching the trial or not, spoiler alert, life, I don't know how many times over in prison.
Is the trial going on right now?
No, it's over. He's in jail for the rest of his life.
Okay. And
multiple
so
life
I don't
sentences.
know why.
Clay told us that this looks exactly like Frank, and I could not agree more. Will you just look at that?
You know what's funny? Wait. They had this thing. It fucking looks like him.
Wait, Frank, like look at the image. Look, give the same side eye to the image. Look the other way that you were just looking.
He did.
It's messed up. It's not cool.
Oh God!
How?
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Oh God!
What?
Oh God!
Are you okay?
No.
A bug?
Nope. I see a cave cricket.
It's just a bug. Okay.
Oh, come on, relax. They don't do anything. They just jump. They don't do anything. They're not gonna hurt you.
Wait, Frank, make this face. Hold on.
Stop making me make serial killer faces.
Make this face now.
I don't want to.
See, this is a little
I'm
weird
not
because he's
doing
got long hair, so you can see. It doesn't really look like
See-
Frank, but that's Frank's face right there.
To me, there
That
he
is
looks
Frank's-
like Pee Wee Herman. He looks like Paul Rubens there.
Make that face, Frank. Come on, you can make that face. Do that, like, do the side, go
Should I
like, do
take
this
the glasses
thing.
off again?
Yeah.
If I can't see the face if I take the glasses off.
It's your face. Just turn your head a little bit.
Wait a minute. Wait
I
a
will
minute.
never
This is
stop.
effed
I will never stop loving that. Never.
This is messed up. I like to think that I'm somewhat.
Wait, are you
Listen,
kidding me? These
I
things
know-
can crawl up.
Will you stop it?
Just squish the thing already.
I can't.
Oh no, you can't squish those. It's like squishing an entire bag of potato chips. They're huge.
Oh, really?
It's like stepping on a raccoon.
All right. Do you want us to give you a minute there, Janine?
Are you gonna? Yeah, get
Are
a.
we
get a
going to
shot
see
of-
it? You're going to show it?
Do you see it?
It's not even that big. It's a tiny one.
It's a
And it's-
baby one, but I
And
don't
it's
care.
by the door. It wants out.
No, no, no.
It wants to go out. Just open the door and move
Yeah,
the. Okay.
Yeah, okay. You think I'm gonna go anywhere near that, Frank?
Here's what's weird. It looks oddly like Frank, which I'm finding a hard time
Wait, let me.
believing.
Put the cricket side by side. Get the cricket up here.
Wait, I want to wait. There is this new thing on TikTok where you put your doppelganger, like you have you, and then it
The picture of you.
goes
Yeah.
to the yes. So you know what? We need to do that.
We need to do
I
I'm
don't
that.
think we
sorry.
did. I think we did it. I think it's done.
No, Saturday we're doing it.
I agree.
I think it's been done. I think we all saw it.
All right.
I
But
think. I mean, I'd like to think that I'm somewhat not a bad-looking person. This guy does not seem like a good-looking person, and I hate that we look so similar. Like I look at this guy and I go, I hope I don't look like that because that.
you
Well-
look
Not an
exactly like
attractive
it's the
looking
guy.
same face. It's the same face.
It is the same face. Obviously, he's bigger than you, but if
He's got more
there's a
weight,
picture I saw without so much weight, he does look like you. But here's the thing: people tell me I look like a certain person all the time, and I do not find this person. I don't think this person is attractive or pretty in the least bit.
At least she's not a serial killer.
Who? Who do they say?
She might as well be.
The one from I forget her name, but she's from Always Sunny. It's Always Sunny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you do look
Always-
similar to her, but that's not this. You resemble
Yeah.
her. This is the exact same face. Like same exact face.
Damn it.
We got to do this on Saturday. We have to.
No, we
have
don't.
to.
My only question
Yes,
is
we
I
do.
wonder if this guy hates transgender people as much as Frank does, because then that would
You're
be
an
just
idiot.
the
I love
craziest
transgender
coincidence.
people. Transgender people are awesome.
What
You're
if
an
you
idiot.
find out that he hates Trump? Do you think that maybe you'll be like, hey, maybe I do look like him?
There's no getting on the side of this guy. If
No.
you watched, I watched some of the trial and the opening state, all this stuff, and what he did,
It was bad.
horrible.
Okay, but does this
Really?
cause you to question God or the universe or whatever if your exact face is on Janine's throwing shit at the bug? If your exact face is on another human being, doesn't that weird you out a whole bunch?
Did I kill it?
No, because I feel like, I mean, your exact face is on a piece of shit. So what's the difference?
I do not look like LeBron James, I'll have you know.
Oh, I
Finally,
think there are subtle differences. I don't think it's exact.
there is not a difference. I have known you for how many years? 30 some odd years? 28 years, whatever it is. It looks exactly like you.
No, you really do think that it looks like him, though, right? You really do.
I mean, and here's what's insane about this. Like, you make these faces. Like, not only
Yeah.
is it your face, but you make these exact facial expressions. You make
That's
this
not even
face.
an expression. He's just looking.
lift your nose up, and be snooty like he is being. Like that is you make.
It fucking looks like it.
I don't know who the serial killer is and who you are. Go ahead.
He's paler than I am. If you
That's
remove
not
the
a
mask,
possibility. That's not a possibility for someone to be paler than you.
He is though. If you remove that face shield, he's got no hair on the top of his head.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you watch him speak, once he starts speaking, I don't look like him at all.
Okay.
Number 3 is there's only that one angle. If you look at him from the other side,
I tell you what we're gonna do.
It doesn't look like me.
I tell you what we're gonna do.
We're gonna do this on Saturday.
When it comes time to plug the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel episode, we're gonna have your dad on, and we're gonna hold up pictures of this guy and you, and I bet you your dad gets at least one or two wrong.
He can't see anyway.
Wait, your father's on that? Are your father's on that?
You were on the show that we talked about that. He's right.
He's going to be on an episode of Miss Maisel.
My father's going to be on the Marvelous Miss Maisel.
That's cool. But here's another thing. I believe, and don't quote me on this.
I'm quoting you.
I was ready to quote you.
Someone in our group chat said that you do look like this guy a long time ago. I think it might have been my brother. I think it might have been my brother.
So this is what my father's going to look like in Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Oh, he sent a picture already?
Yeah, in his costume and whatever. I mean, it's just him in a suit, but that's...
No, but that's
funny.
I see it in the tie.
Okay, see? There it is. So, he's going to be in it, and I don't know when that episode will air.
Do we drain any of this water? Just put it right in?
So, Janine, you missed it. Anthony saw a thing on TikTok where you put ranch powder, like the dressing powder, into a jar of pickles, and you leave it for 24 hours. And that's supposed to be Did you just drink some of the pickle juice?
I took a little sip.
Oh. You gross bastard.
See, here's the thing, though. I'm not a fan of ranch.
Does it taste like ranch? What do they say it tastes like? We're at the point now where I'll tell you what, somebody's going to die from this stupid TikTok and it's going to be somebody in my house because we're just doing everything that we see on TikTok.
Yeah, but you're just combining food, so you're not like putting Tide Pods in your mouth.
I know, but there's gonna come something's gonna happen.
I definitely killed this thing, by the way.
Did you?
I don't even know how I killed it.
That?
Because these things are very fast, and when you try to swat at them, they jump. So I don't know how.
You just catch them. You throw a towel or something on them. You throw them outside.
Are you kidding me? You're one of those people who capture bugs and leave them outside? No, you're going to kill it. You're going to kill it.
Explode?
I don't kill bugs. No. I try not to, unless it's like a gross one. That's gonna like
these things are gross,
like a water bug or one of those, like a centipede or some shit. But if it's like a cricket, I'll try and catch it and release it outside.
No, these cage crickets are the most disgusting things ever.
I saw that video with the ketchup where the ketchup exploded in the guy's face.
Oh,
I don't think this is gonna fit. I feel like this is gonna be everywhere.
That's what she said.
You gotta get a spoon or something and mix it in there. You push it down.
There's like $7,000 worth of equipment right here that I'm pouring ranch into right now.
It looks like crack, coke.
You smoke crack, Sims?
Great movie.
Now, do I close this and shake it up? Am I gonna be able to?
I'm hot down here.
See it?
Come further back from the camera. There you go, right there.
Oh, it's definitely getting cloudy.
Frank, does your wife think you look like this person at all?
I haven't run it by her just yet. But after tonight...
He's worried that she's going to leave him once she sees this guy.
She's going to start writing him letters in jail. She's going to be like, ew. Wicca, 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 wicca.
I think I have more personality in my face, and I think that I'm generally a happier, jolly person, and I don't kill people. So
that we know of. I'm actually going to text your mom and dad right now just to make sure. That's how freaked out I am.
I just showed you a picture of my dad.
That looked like it was from the 50s, though, so how could I tell?
Time stamped from the day before Thanksgiving.
This looks like guacamole now, doesn't it?
It's going to become some kind of paste, like when you mix
Is that right?
Like cement.
But what is it gonna do?
I don't know. Now we got to let it sit for at least 24 hours. So the next show we're gonna try it. So if you want to try it, Janine, tomorrow you got to go get it and put it all together. But if
the
not,
ranch powder
I
mix.
can't do ranch. See, here's the thing. I don't like ranch flavor. I'm a blue cheese kind of girl. Blue cheese. I'm addicted to blue cheese.
they're so. How could you say you like blue cheese? No.
Well, is there a blue cheese powder?
I have not seen that.
Do that.
I don't know. I just hope the audience appreciates all the stupid TikTok things we do so that they don't have to. I really.
I can't wait for Saturday to do Frank with this guy.
I think we all need to move. The guy is away. He's gone. He's removed from society.
Yeah, he's on the show right now.
I think I won. I think I win this battle. There could be only one.
Let me ask you a question.
Damn it.
If this guy breaks out of jail, how panicked are you going to be? You can't leave your house if he breaks out of jail. If there's a nationwide manhunt for this guy, you're not going to survive it, Frank. You're not going to survive it.
Let me ask you a question. How old do you think he is there?
How old are you?
38, 39.
You think that he is 38, 39?
If I were you right now, I would be on the phone with your father asking, what the hell, guy, because that's you.
He's 32 years old. Yeah, that's...
Frank, tilt your head back a little bit. Tilt your head back a little bit.
He's paler than I am. No, his nose is thinner. I have a wider nose.
But you never thought you'd say that out loud.
I say it at least 3 times a day. I have a wider nose than people.
Oh, God, Frank, I'm telling you, it's you.
It's not me.
I want to thank... Look, even when you make a this is a ridiculous face, look, oh my God, it's the same friggin' face.
Let's see it.
Damn it.
This is the same face you were making when Janine was talking about God on that episode.
Right. Now I'm offended again.
So creepy.
I don't think I look like him. I think I look way better.
Janine,
and on that note...
Janine, you tell him he looks
silence. The friggin' silence.
I said on that note. I did say something on that note. No, you are better looking than him.
I lied enough today, so I'm not going to go along with
even though you're the same person.
Yeah. Where were you last Thanksgiving weekend?
Having Thanksgiving. Murdering people. I was not murdering anybody. This guy, the most horrific thing.
All right, answer this question. Answer this question, then I'll leave you alone. Have you ever been seen in the same room with Joel Guy Jr.?
No, I didn't know this guy existed.
That's not going to help the conspiracy theory. It's not going to help. All right, we'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed this episode.
I did not.
And info at anthonyonair.com. Want to say rest in peace to the bug that lost its life during the taping of this episode.
Not cool.
Yeah,
who's the real serial killer on this podcast?
Let's see. Is that it smeared all around? Oh, goodness sakes.
Yeah,
I don't even know how I got it either with the smart order.
You look like the serial killer now.
What?
That's true.
See? Do this.
Again,
whatever the hell face he did.
Best month in the history of the show as far as merch sales. So thank you so much for that. Keep buying.
Thank you.
Keep checking out stuff at shopanthonyonair.com. Don't forget to check out Hero Soap. Link in the description below. To everybody that sticks with us for every single episode, the hardcore fans, we appreciate you all so much. Thank you for commenting along, for the thumbs up and everything else. And we'll catch you guys in the next one, where we will be trying ranch pickles.